Does an online color analysis work? What is better, an online or in-person color analysis? In today's video, as a professional consultant trained in both types of this service, I'm going to explain the difference between color analysis online and in person. Since an in-person color analysis sometimes costs much more than the same service online, I will also reveal pricing strategies behind both services. And at the end of this video, you will find out how to tell a good color consultant from a bad one, regardless of what method of color analysis you have chosen. You need to know that to identify your best colors, a color consultant tests different color samples against your face, compares them to each other, and observes their impact on your complexion. In person, they use drapes in different colors that are designed specifically for color analysis. During an online color analysis, a color consultant uses digital color swatches against a photo of your face. Both methods should lead to the same result. At the end of your color analysis, you should receive a personalized palette of your best colors. When preparing for this video, I was looking online people's opinions about color analysis and what in general they say, and I found this. I would not pay for an online analysis. I haven't gone to a professional, but from what I've seen, they help you see the difference in the drapes make on you. Online, it's not as easy or reliable as so many things affect how things look on screen. The colors and their effect could look completely different on your screen than theirs. I think that a lot of myths surrounding color analysis come from the fact that it's a very popular subject and a lot of people share their opinion without knowing much about it, not being trained in color analysis and not having their own color analysis done. It's a valid question, and it's good to ask if you're going to spend your money on something like color analysis and then base your entire wardrobe on that. You don't have to worry about how photos show colors, because in color analysis we which sounds weird, but we don't necessarily focus on colors of your skin, eyes, and hair. We don't need photos to show the exact same colors as in reality to identify your color season and determine, even with precision, your most flattering colors. The most important thing we pay attention to are your natural color attributes and balance between them in your complexion, and that can be seen even if photos aren't very accurate. Those attributes are reflected, for example, in the contrast between your skin tone and your eyebrows, or between your iris and the white of your eye. There is also that particular glow of your skin and the sparkle in your eye that can be perfectly captured in a photo. And even if the photo doesn't exactly show the color of your eyes, because I know when I was taking my own photos for the color analysis, but when you start trying samples of colors, the digital swatches, it all starts coming out. So looking at the contrast between the iris and the white of your eye, your skin and hair color, whether they are similar or contrasting, this is the biggest indicator on what your color season would be, and this is what we look at in the photos. Still, to create a precise personal color palette, we need fairly accurate photos, and that's why a color consultant should instruct their clients on how to take photos for color analysis. It's nothing complicated. It tells you, for example, that you should take your photos without makeup on, to look directly in the camera, take photos on a white background, to face the window and how far from the window you should stand, about natural daylight. And you don't have to wait until summer, so don't worry about it, because you can get good light even in autumn and winter. And I'm saying this as a person who lives in London. I additionally request one photo in which a client holds a white sheet of paper, because this way I can assess how accurate the colors in the photos are. If the paper appears off-white or grayish, then it's fine. It won't affect the results of color analysis. But if the sheet of paper is blue or yellow, then I know that I will have to ask my client for new photos. It's true that your screen can have different settings than mine. Colors may look slightly different on your screen, but it doesn't matter for the result of your color analysis, because when I was a color analysis student and we had online classes and we were learning online color analysis, there were around 30 people in my class. We did color analysis of the same models, we all used the same photos, but we worked from our homes on our personal computers and we all got the same results. And so I can confidently say that both color analysis methods online and face-to-face give accurate results, and they allow creating a very precise personal color palette. My own opinion about online color analysis has changed over time, because at first I was strongly against it. I was trained in London in person in the system of 4 seasons, but when I had that training I knew already that I wanted to work with the 12 seasons color analysis, because that system was more precise. I had a dream to learn from one specific color expert whom I really admired. Unfortunately, that that person offered only virtual training. And as I said, I was very opinionated. I thought that I could learn it online, but I definitely wasn't planning to offer online color analysis to clients and get paid for it. I was deeply scandalized by the color consultants who, during lockdown, started offering this service online. In my opinion, they got a taste of working from home, got lazy, and sacrificed the quality of their work for their own comfort. But then when I started learning color analysis online, I quickly realized that it really is as good as in person. Now I even prefer online color analysis over face-to-face in certain areas, especially in how it gives me more time to look into the person's features than an in-person appointment, or how it allows me to personalize color palettes for clients, since I'm not limited by pre-ordered physical color swatches. I still believe that it's crucial that color consultants who offer online color analysis should receive training in person, not only online, because otherwise you can't fully understand how colors work and how they impact people's features in reality. So for me, the most important difference between color analysis in person and online is in creating personal color palettes for clients. After your color analysis, you will receive a list of your flattering colors. Your color palette can look like this or like this. After an online color analysis, most color consultants would provide you with a digital color palette. After a color analysis in person, you would receive either digital or physical color swatches. In my opinion, digital color palettes have an advantage over physical ones. And why is that? Even if two people represent the same color season, they will have a different eye and hair color, different complexion, therefore their personal color palettes will differ. The number of physical color drapes that are used for color analysis is limited. There are around 100, 120 altogether for all the seasons, and the consultant choice of shades is limited to what they have on hand. Physical color funds that you receive after your consultation, these ones, contain the most typical colors of the specific color season. They are mass-produced and ordered in bulk. I don't even know if it's possible to order one personalized color fan, but even if it was, it would be very expensive because the quality of printed colors has to be high, and you would probably have to pay extra for it and wait until it's produced and delivered to you, if it's even possible. In the case of digital color swatches, I can easily make subtle changes in shades and color saturation, place all shades next to each other, compare them, and choose the best one for you. The advantage of a color analysis in person is that you are leaving the appointment knowing your color season and with your color palette in hand. With an online color analysis, you send your photos, you fill out the questionnaire, and you have to wait for your result, which is usually around 2-3 weeks. The reason is that there is a difference between how an online and in-person color analysis are performed. When you see someone in person, 60-90 minutes is enough to first determine the person's color season and then to complete their most flattering color palette. Very often, when you work at the computer, you have to stare at the screen for hours to see the same details as you would in person. But then, an online color analysis gives you a chance to go back and run an extra test. If I come up with an idea that I would like to check, a different color I would like to compare on a person, and it's something that you simply can't do after an in-person appointment when the person isn't there anymore. I do color analysis only in the morning when my eyes are still fresh, and it's the first task I perform on the computer. Before sitting at the desk, I make sure that I have no screen time whatsoever. So, for example, I don't scroll social media or check my emails in the morning. Doing color analysis only in the morning is a good practice also in the case of in-person appointments. It's not a job that can be performed all day from 9 to 5, or the quality of work will suffer. Another comment I found online, and I had seen it quite often, people are thinking whether they should pay less for an online color analysis or save money and get a better color analysis in person. So why does an in-person color analysis cost more than the same service online? There may be different reasons why specific consultants took a specific pricing strategy. One of them is cost-based pricing. The cost of an online color analysis is electricity, internet, the time spent on the color analysis, and the cost of a good computer and a screen that you buy once in a while. You can create your own color swatches that cost you time, or pay for them once and use them forever. They are digital, so you don't have to keep reordering them. The costs of an in-person color analysis are much higher. You have to buy or rent a studio, pay the bills, regularly buy cleaning products. The studio requires equipment such as professional lamps. They use a lot of energy and they sometimes break, so you have to replace them. Mirrors, chairs, furniture, physical tools for color analysis like color drapes and frames, color fans, white aprons and scarves for the consultant, physical color palettes for the clients that you have to order from time to time, and tea and coffee, hair clips, hair bands, and like other little costs and accessories. There is also a strategic decision of how you position yourself and your product. I know a color consultant who communicates that online and in-person color analysis are the same services and that they bring the same results. So in that case, it makes sense to offer both ways of doing color analysis for the same price, because in that way you show that they are the same service. But there are also stylists who offer only in-person color analysis, and they say that this is the only way to get quality results. So in that case, it makes sense for them to charge more for an in-person color analysis than other people charge for an online color analysis, because it's a proof that their service is better. If the prices of both types of services were the same, people wouldn't necessarily believe that one is better than the other. One thing that may scare some people of an online color analysis is when you hear about cases when someone had an online color analysis, they didn't feel that the result was correct, the colors didn't work for them, so they booked another color analysis, this time in person, and they got a completely different result. In reality, the reason for this doesn't have anything to do with a method of color analysis. It could happen the other way around as well. The first color analysis that I had was in person and the result was incorrect. I was diagnosed as a spring, and when I had my second color analysis done online, I finally got the correct result. A color consultant could make a mistake for whatever reason. It might be that they are not very experienced, or they are having a bad day, they were tired, distracted, anything really. So if you feel that your given color palette doesn't really suit you, before you pay for another color analysis with a different person, I would first contact your previous consultant and I would tell them about my doubts. They will most likely offer to review your results free of charge, and it's easier to do if you had an online color analysis because they still have your photos and your color report. If your color analysis was done in person, you would have to book another appointment and commute to their studio again. What method will be better for you? I've seen this opinion on Reddit. Yes, absolutely worth it, it's magical, but I can only recommend it in person. Seeing the face change based on draped colors in person is something you will never forget. On the other hand, this is the feedback I received from my client after an online color analysis. I'm blown away, honestly. This is such an insightful analysis. When I see the comparison you provided between the bright colors versus the darker colors on my skin tone, I could really see the difference it made. Since both methods of color analysis can bring the same quality of results and can make people equally excited and happy about their color analysis, as you can see in both examples of reviews or comments, you should choose the method that suits you based on your needs and preferences. Waiting time for your result. If you're impatient and in the case of an online color analysis, you will have to wait for your results for 2-3 weeks, it could be a problem. After the color analysis in person, you will leave your appointment knowing your color season. Interaction with the color consultant and experience of color analysis. In person, you see the process of the color analysis, which can be an interesting experience, and you can ask your consultant any questions that you want. Online, you don't witness the process of the color analysis. I run your tests on the computer, and then I prepare a report for you where I show your best colors and some of your not so flattering colors, so you can see for yourself the difference and understand why a certain color palette flatters you. We would also have a follow-up video consultation where we could discuss your color analysis results, and we can make a plan on how to implement your color palette into your wardrobe. It gives you a chance to ask me any questions that you want. This is actually really good for the people who need some time to process information, because you have the chance to read your color report and make a list of questions that you want to ask me. I'm one of these people. Usually, if I have to think on the spot afterwards, I'm annoyed because I forgot to ask about something important, or I didn't think of something until later and I wasted my chance. Convenience. For the online color analysis, you have to take your own photos, which can be inconvenient. Some people can't or don't want to travel for their in-person appointment. There are color consultants who offer to meet you in your own home, but I will explain in a minute why it's not always a good idea. Choice of a consultant. When doing an online color analysis, you can choose any consultant that you trust anywhere in the world. When in the case of an in-person color analysis, you are limited to your local area or you have to travel for your appointment. How to choose a good color consultant and trust that you will receive a quality outcome of your color analysis. Before you book your appointment, ask the consultant about their working methods. There is a method where color consultants meet their clients in a video call and use some sort of I don't know, it's like color stickers or filters that imitate physical drapes. When I heard about it for the first time, I was really surprised. Anyone who ever attended a Zoom call knows that video quality leaves much to be desired. The image is blurred, light changes, the screen is dark or too light. Also, laptop cameras aren't very good. And I recommend you to not work with the consultants who do it. I think most of the people use photos, but there are some people who do color analysis in a call. Probably not many of them, because I honestly didn't hear about it until maybe a year ago. So you won't have a problem to find someone who does it in this good quality way. But even if someone uses photos to do color analysis, ask if they will give you instructions on how to take good photos. And you can even ask what computer and screen they use when working with colors, because it's important to have a good screen, and some cheap laptops simply aren't good enough to do a color analysis. In the case of in-person color analysis, the most important thing to know is whether your analysis will be done in a stable environment that ensures quality results. The studio should be equipped with lamps, because natural light isn't reliable. It's the same kind of lamps that makeup artists would use. A color consultant should wear neutral clothes, best would be white, because white interferes the least with your complexion and color drapes that they use on you. Some consultants wear white aprons, some even wear white scarves on their hair. If you dye your hair, a consultant should cover your hair with a white scarf. Also, the walls in the studio should be painted white. If a color consultant offers to meet you in your home, ask what they do to provide a stable environment, because they should bring lamps, mirror. If your walls aren't painted white, they should ask you about it. They should have a white screen that they will use as background, and it should be placed behind you, but also on the sides. Color consultants who travel to their clients bring all equipment with them in their car, but some of them don't, so you should always ask. Your appointment should take place before noon, because eyes get really tired during color analysis. A color consultant should book no more than 2 or 3 appointments a day. I know for myself, I once pushed it too far. I wasn't doing color analysis, but I was creating color palettes for my graphics for social media. And that was already after working with colors in the morning. So I spent several hours at the computer looking at colors. And at some point, when someone finally entered the room, I asked, what is this color on the screen? Was it green or purple? And they told me it was purple. I couldn't see that anymore. And the next day, I, of course, had to remake all the graphics because the colors looked awful. So this is why it's so important to know how many color analyses the consultant does per day. And a red flag is when your appointment is booked for a late afternoon. I mean, even if that was the consultant's first appointment during the day, afternoon simply isn't the time to do a color analysis. Another thing to check is the human factor. Color consultants have different approaches and points of focus. You can get the same result from 2 different consultants, but still be disappointed with the experience with one of them. So it's important to choose someone who resonates with you on a personal level, and make sure that you will receive what you expect. For example, sometimes you can see photos from color analysis when a color consultant did someone color analysis and then put their makeup on, and maybe you expect the same. Maybe at the end of your appointment, you would like the color consultant to show you, teach you how to do your makeup in your flattering colors. And in that case, you would be disappointed with my service, because I can recommend you best colors for your makeup. It's actually a part of your report, your best lipstick, blush, eyeshadow, mascaras, even some advice on how much highlighter or bronzer to use based on your color season, whether you look better in matte products or shiny or glittery or satin, anything. but I don't have a beauty chest full of products that I could use on my clients, and I don't have the skill to put all those products on someone. So if you want a color consultant to do your makeup and teach you how to do it, look for someone who offers that service and has a professional background as a makeup artist. On the other hand, I have a strategic approach to style, and I can help you make a plan on how to implement your best colors into your wardrobe, how to sneak your colors into your professional image, or we can plan how you can shift over time from wearing only black to more colorful outfits. We can work on combining colors if you struggle with that. We would have one consultation after your color analysis when we meet online and talk. If you would like to, we can also schedule another follow-up consultation after 3 or 6 months after the service. Not everyone offers that, so just find the service that will meet all your needs. Make sure that the color consultant will understand you. This is something you can see from how they communicate on their social media. Some stylists are flexible, others have a rigid thinking pattern. For example, some consultants would help you style better the clothes that you already have, even if the colors don't flatter you. Some others would advise you to replace your entire wardrobe and get new clothes in your flattering colors. So it's also something to know about them. To sum up, you want someone who will understand you and empathize with your needs and preferences. Very important thing to know, ask if the color consultant will provide you a standard seasonal color palette or create a personal color palette for you. In my opinion, it's very important to have a personal color palette because color seasons are a spectrum. Color analysis is a very personal service. We often lean towards a neighboring season on the color wheel. Some people are exactly between two color seasons, and in that case, the standard color palette simply wouldn't suit you. You would look great in some colors from one season and some colors from the other, or maybe in colors that aren't in a palette of any color season, but are a mixture of the two. Also, ask if the online service is followed by a consultation where you can ask questions and make a plan on how to implement the new colors into your wardrobe. Because for some stylists, it's normal that you would do this kind of consultation, but for some of them, they just do your color analysis and send you your report, and then you work with that on your own. Let me know in the comments if you have any additional questions about online or in-person color analysis. If you are not exactly sure how to combine colors and you would like to know what color combinations suit you the most based on your color season, watch the video that should appear on the screen now. It's also linked in the description below. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you next time.